You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows like the one you're about to enjoy, visit electronicmediacollective.com. And now, our feature presentation.
In a world where film studios have pillaged every young adult novel, DC'd every comic book series, and Frankenstein every silver screen monster in search of the next movie mega franchise. Two nerds, two movies, one cinematic universe.
This is Jasper.
And this is Randy.
We watched 18 movies.
And now for the extended cinematic universe. Yes, this is that was kind of weak, actually. But that's okay. So this is the season 2 finale. Hey, Jasper, most people take their in-between season break after the finale. We're not most people.
We're not. We took it before.
So you might have noticed we took a week off. Chances are you didn't, but you might have. Well, we're back with the season 2 finale. Episode 20, in case you're very confused by what we're talking about. So we decided sometime around episode number 9 that every 10 episodes...
Pretty late season 1.
Yeah, pretty much at the end of season 1. We're like, this is a season now, and this is the end of it. So every 10 episodes is a season. Every 10th episode, we're going to look back on the previous 9 episodes, and we're going to do a special episode about it. Wow, I've just said episode way too many times.
It's like you're having an episode.
So basically, yes, it is. Wow, you stopped me dead on that one. I didn't know how to, I don't know how to recover. So basically, not unlike last time, not unlike episode 10, we're going to do a similar type thing. I have a feeling the finales will evolve and change occasionally. We got some votes on which double feature are people's favorite. And we also have some pitches, because this was really, really the reason for the season finales, is so we have an excuse to be able to go back and be like, you know what? Because for the most part, except for when Jasper decides to break the rules, episode 19, and go outside of the episode, the double feature we're covering on hand. For the most part, we stick to the double feature we pick when we do our shared cinematic universe mashups. But we figured it'd be super fun to have an opportunity to go back and be like, you know what? What if we could mix and match those or combine a bunch of them? So that's what the season finale is all about, and that's what we're going to do. First off, let's start with this. So here's how this season went. We kicked it off with 7 and Hellraiser, a What's in the Box theme. I don't have them listed in order here, so I'm just going to read them off. We did Drive and the Transporter, Driver double feature. We did Big and Jack, adult... Kids in child bodies. Wait, no. Children in adult bodies.
Whoa, that sounds weird.
We did the one that we've been looking forward to since starting the podcast. The double feature we've been planning since before we even recorded episode 1. AVP Alien vs. Predator and Freddy vs. Jason for our epic Alien vs. Predator vs. Freddy vs. Jason episode. We did Krampus and Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale. It's one of our 2 Christmas episodes. Our other Christmas episode was Home Alone and Die Hard. We also did Trick or Treat and Devil's Candy, speaking of holiday episodes. The Birds and the Deadly Bees, that was your brainchild.
That was a regret of mine.
Oh, it was, dude, in concept, it's funny. It made me laugh, and it gave me an opportunity to rewatch Hitchcock. Hardcore Henry and Crank 2 High Voltage. We ran a poll, Jasper, to get people's favorite double feature that we covered. And I specified, not necessarily the best episode, like not at all the best episode of ours, not even the best movies, just the best double feature, whether conceptually like the theme, or just the best pairing of movies, or just the most fun sounding double feature to watch. And I ran a poll and I got some votes. Do you want to know who they voted on? Do you want to know the results of this?
Where? Yes.
Okay. The most popular double feature is not 1, but 2 double features. Jasper, 2. We got a tie. This actually surprises me a little bit. Drive and the Transporter, as well as Big and Jack. They're definitely like those double features are very thematically tied, so that makes sense.
I'm just kind of the one that surprises me is the Big and Jack being up there with that. I thought more Seven and Hellraiser would be tied with Drive and Transporter, but I think what brought the Drive Transporter one is Drive. Drive brought that up. That's the one I voted for.
Honestly, people love. Oh, that's the one you voted for?
Yeah.
I might have voted for that one too. People love Big, so I'm a little surprised that one actually came in higher than Drive and Transporter. So some of the runner-ups were AVP and Freddy vs. Jason. Actually, I'm wrong. I take it back. That's the one I voted. Me and Jasper did each throw one vote in on here. Some of the runner-ups were AVP and Freddy vs. Jason. That was one of my favorite, just because it's such a ridiculous. Like, they're not. Neither movie are among the better movies we watched this season, but it's such a good like double feature of just ridiculous. What not to do when combining massive franchises. Because those movies, because those movies are what this show is. Let's take this franchise and mash them together. So naturally, we're going to take two mashed franchises and mash them together. But anyway. Also, Krampus and Rare Exports: A Christmas Tale. That, dude, I was actually really pleased with that one. I think that was not just thematically with the Krampus, like, cross, just kind of tonally. I think that's a good double feature. They're both kind of horror, but they're both not entirely serious. I think Krampus is a little more goofy, but
yeah, that Krampus is kind of like it was almost kind of like I almost thought I was like, is this supposed to be a comedy? Like, it's kind of weird to have these people dying, you know? Like it.
And Home Alone and Die Hard got some love too. What didn't get any love is Seven and Hellraiser. That surprises me, but I think the tie between those two is a little less obvious. Hardcore Henry and Crank 2 didn't get a lot of love, but I think it's just because those movies don't get a lot of love.
Hardcore Henry was like really, the whole concept behind that movie was really good.
Yeah, Hardcore Henry was awesome. It was fun. Trick or Treat and Devil's Candy, I kind of get. People don't know Devil's Candy, and for the most part, I don't know that people know Trick or Treat from 1986. And then The Birds and the Deadly Bees. That's one of my favorite pairings because of how stupid the title. It's this season's Ants and the Wasp Woman. We have to have one of those every season, right? Where it's just purely based on a title, a title pun or a title joke, and somehow that inevitably brings in just the worst movies we ever watch.
Right. It's always the, and then it just be the crap movie.
The crap. If it starts with the, and we just put it in there because it's got like an animal or something we're trying to fit into a title, it's gonna suck.
You're right.
I'm not saying the bird sucked. In this case, it's the Deadly Bees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get to these pitches. The fun part. How do you want to do this? So I know you have a pitch. Jasper, I have... Okay. Listener.
4-part series?
No.
A docu-series?
No.
A mini-series. ABC, we're airing it.
So if anybody listened to last season, if anybody's still around that listened to the last episode finale, episode 10, I read 2 massive, huge pitches that were a series. I started a series, and I promised 2 more on the Patreon. I eventually did a 3rd. The 4th one is only half written still. I never finished it. I overpromised, Jasper. Okay, listen, I overpromised. I'm super proud of like what I did.
Overpromised and underdelivered.
Way underdelivered. Well, what I delivered, I think, I overdelivered.
Yes.
Because, dude, that 3rd pitch is like 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes solid of me reading fan fiction. Me reading Buffy the Vampire Slayer slashed with Big Trouble in Little China slashed with The Thing and The Wasp Woman. What else did I put in there? Flash was in there. Highlander. Like, dude, okay, it was solid. There was production to it. That said, it took a long time, and I did not have time to do the 4th one. It's half written. Someday that saga will complete. I will finish that saga because it tied all 16 movies that we talked about. But you know what? This season, I'm not doing that. I learned my lesson.
Not going that far.
Okay, I learned my lesson. I'm not going to present to you 4 big pitches. I will present to you, however, no less than 12 pitches. I have 12 pitches, Jasper. 12 pitches. But they're like 1-sentence pitches, okay?
be calling to work tomorrow.
They're one sentence pitches, okay? These are not 20-minute long stories. These are one sentence pitches. You also have a pitch. We have a pitch from Jesse, and we have a pitch from Lee. Let's do like we did last time. Let's kick off with Jesse.
I'm game.
So we got a pitch. This is audio sent to us from Jesse Kiefer of this show. It's got a really weird name. I don't really know what the name means. I couldn't figure out how to spell it either. Or else I went to the website that they always talk about. But who knows how to spell Grawlix? So this is Jesse from the Grawlix podcast. He sent us this pitch, and we're going to kick off with this. So let's do it.
It's me. It's Jesse from GrawlixPodcast.com. Hey, I'm back again. And guess what I did? I brought this voice with me. So it's back. We're glad. Here we go. Anyways, last season, I did a pitch. It was a pitch about the future. You heard it. You lived it. Now we're gonna look at the past, because we can't do the same thing. No. We're gonna go way back, and we're gonna look at one crazy character to see what went wrong. And it's a famous one. It's a famous character with a blacklisted actor. So we got to recast it anyhow. So here's a movie. Here's a movie that'll kill two birds with one stone. Or how about we kill 7 deadly birds with 7 deadly stones? That's right, kids. And by kids, I mean adults old enough for R-rated movies, because we're going to tell the story of John Doe. And since Spacey, Kevin Spacey is off, being an awful skeezy nutbag, hey, let's look at somebody younger. Let's look at John Doe's past. Well, it turns out John Doe has been all about punishing sinners, like for a long time. And it all started when he was 8 years old. Back when he was little, he got, you guessed it, you did it, you guessed it. He got left behind. He got left home alone. And that ordeal changed him. He learned how to set elaborate death traps, but to protect himself. Wink, wink. But the thing is, the wet bandits, Harry and Marv, they always seem to survive these traps that should have killed him. So then later it happened again in New York, and Kevin he's gotten real bizarre, man. He starts talking to bizarre sociopaths that someday become the president and bird ladies. And again he has to set a bunch of traps and almost kill. Now they're the sticky bandits. And, so anyways, he never does kill people yet until, here we go. Here's the new movie. In the Home Alone franchise, there's been 5 movies, which means there's a gap. There's a gap between 5 and 7. Get it? So this movie, are you ready? Are you ready for stunt numbering? Because here it is. Home Alone 666. Subtitle, The Rise of 7. Only you spell it with the 7 in the middle instead of a V.
Oh my God.
It's a story about how Kevin Spacey McAllister lost all sense of identity, all in his pursuit. This pursuit of punishing the wicked, the wet, and the sticky bandits. And they come back. They do it. They're the wet and sticky bandits who are sinful, wicked. And they come back, and they're gonna get him. They're gonna get him for real. For really, this is the 3rd time, so the real real they're gonna get him. And this time it goes wrong. And Kevin, he does it. He finishes the job. And instead of being horrified, he likes it. He likes the power, and he thinks that now he can start his true mission. His mission to cure the filthy animals. And your favorite Christmas childhood movie, it just got real dark in here. Happy season 2!
It's so wow, man.
Dude, that is so... First off, I like the production. I love Kevin Spacey McAllister.
Right? Oh my god, that was intense.
So when did you know, maybe you knew beforehand, when did you know it was Home Alone? He was bringing it in there.
It was kind of midway through. Like, I was like, oh no, here we go. 666, the rise of...
Yes, thank you, Jesse. That was great. Oh, man. That was a good pitch. I like that quite a bit.
Oh, my God. 7 without the E.
All right. So I'm going to follow that up with just a few of my pitches here. Quick pitches. Most of my pitches are basically like alternate double features that maybe we could have done. And since Jesse was talking about 7, I'm actually going to repitch a double feature that we did do. We did 7 and Hellraiser, and I think I had actually even wrote part of that pitch out. I'm going to repitch it because I got a new idea. Here's how it is. It's easy. 7 and Hellraiser, the 7 deadly Cenobites.
God.
Different Cenobite for every sin. And now that's how Spacey, or in this maybe it's Kevin Spacey McAllister, opens a gateway without the puzzle boxes as he figures out how to summon these 7 deadly Cenobites. There you go. Okay, my next pitch. No description. I don't think you need it. Jack Krampus. Make it happen.
I could see it.
Crank 2 and AVP. Because if you're gonna be ridiculous, go all the way. I want to see Chelios raging on some aliens and predators. So following that train of thought, Hardcore Henry and AVP. First person action flick through aliens versus predator. Drive and the birds. The driver takes Irene and Benicio to Bodega Bay. They're just out for a Sunday drive, find themselves in Bodega Bay.
Dun, 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 dun.
Are those birds? You see those birds, Irene?
That'd be the weirdest movie ever. Like,
dude, how would you do it? Because music is so important in Drive, but in the birds, there's no music. What?
There has to be a moment when they're driving on the interstate, and every time he looks in his mirror to merge, it's got to do the dun 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 dun, dun, dun and then the clicker comes on.
Okay, and then one more, and then we'll get to either your pitch or Lee's pitch. Home Alone and the Devil's Candy. So it's going to play out like Home Alone, except it's the big guy from the Devil's Candy instead of the wet bandits trying to get Kevin. Because Kevin is the sourest candy.
Okay.
And then Kevin begins to hear the chanting. And then you take it from there.
Got it.
Okay. Let's do Lee's pitch. Lee's pitch comes to us via comments on a Facebook post I made. This is Lee Searcey. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, Lee. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I've actually seen Lee in person. I've spoke to him face to face, which is pretty rare amongst podcast people, it seems. But this is Lee. He does the Covert Nerd podcast, which is a good show. We've talked about it a bunch over on the Grawlix podcast. He has 2 pitches. The first one is Home Alone and Die Hard. So this would fit totally into the episode we did. And I'm suddenly regretting not thinking to ask Lee to come on that episode. Kevin grows up and goes evil. See, that seems to be a common thing, right? With the Home Alone pitches. It's always
right.
Kevin going
evil. Well, he is kind of an evil kid, though.
He is. Kevin grows up and goes evil, designing perilous ways to trap, torture, and kill the enemies for mobsters and drug lords. Oh, so he's doing this for mobsters and drug lords? After the events of Die Hard reach Kevin, he wants to use John McClane to test out his greatest creation, a funhouse reminiscent of Kevin's past, full of dastardly devices. This is not too unlike my Home Alone Die Hard pitch, in which it eventually turned into Saw, but it was basically, I think mine was a little bit different. Mine was basically Home Alone 2, only Kevin never leaves New York, and Die Hard Bruce Willis is a New York cop, so that's how he gets in that situation. But, oh yeah, I like that pitch because I want to see Bruce Willis, Die Hard Bruce Willis, I can't remember his character's name, it doesn't matter, it's Bruce Willis, Die Harding his way through a Kevin McAllister death trap. His second pitch, this is a brief one, the Birds versus Aliens versus Predator. And he says, not sure if there's a pitch other than lots of battle between all three. Flying bird aliens, question mark?
Flying bird, yeah, I
want to see what happens when a chest burster comes out of a bird. It'd be small, right?
Or it's got to be like it's like a pigeon, and then it's just like totally bigger than the pigeon.
Totally still like normal size chest burster comes out, where it's like, wait a second.
Where was that hiding?
All right, thanks, Lee. Everybody should go check out Covert Nerd Podcast. He does it. It's an interesting show. He talks about nerdy stuff, but also a lot of stuff. Like, I like his variation of topics, and he's a smart dude. He has smart things to say. Jasper, what do you got?
I think you're gonna like this. So
I'm ready. My body is ready.
We start off with the guy from Drive, okay, and he's driving.
Doom, 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 doom.
He's driving for Lyft.
For Lyft, okay.
Yeah, he picks up a guy and two kids. Okay, the guy is John McClane. Okay, and it's and it's the kid from Rare Exports and Krampus. Okay, they hear a commotion. Okay, over on one in this plaza. Okay, this Nakatomi Plaza. The guy from Drive is looking up top of the building and he can't see what's on top, but there's just fire and stuff. And then it's dun, 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 and then he drives them to the building. Okay, so what happens is John McClane's like, I knew I was going to get called back here. So they go, and there's just all this commotion going on in the tower. They go into the tower. John McClane has a gun. The kid from Rare Exports has his armor and his gun, his shotgun. And they give the little kid a pistol. And so what this turns into is a siege movie. Okay. And the building is full of the elves from Rare Exports. Okay. And then they have to fight their way through every floor. And then a little mini boss halfway up is Krampus from the Krampus movie. But the whole time this movie is shot in the Hardcore Henry concept. Okay. So you are John McClane. Okay.
Okay.
You get to the top and then you fight the Santa from Rare Exports.
He's like the boss?
Yeah, he's the final boss, but we find out sitting atop his head between his horns is the kid from Home Alone.
Nope, I knew it.
So the final battle is between them and
all of them versus Kevin McAllister?
Yeah, Kevin McAllister. I forgot his name for a second, sorry.
No, that's fine.
But he's the final boss.
Wow. Yeah. I'd pay for that. I'd pay to watch that.
Yeah, I would.
I like it. So does he have some type of controlling power over, did he conjure the big
he
Krampus?
was behind the company that found him.
Interesting. Okay.
And he was he got him so he can eternally be a kid.
Okay.
And then I forgot to put it that the building has a bunch of traps in it that was supposed to lead up, and I forgot about that. But
okay. That's okay. That made the Kevin McAllister twist more twisty, more of a surprise. I like that. All right. Do you want to hear my final pitches here?
Yes, let's go.
Okay. Where did I leave off? More of my quick mini pitches. Hellraiser and Freddy vs. Jason. Mainly because Hellraiser and a Freddy movie could possibly work. I mean, Freddy is a child murdering maniac, and kind of fits into like the type of people that seem to end up conjuring Cenobites, and the Cenobites would have such sights to show him. So in a way, it's like without the love story, Freddy's kind of frank, right? Okay, this one I like too. This one actually works. This works way better than a Freddy and a Hellraiser. Freddy vs. Jason and Trick or Treat. Because Sammy Kerr would fit perfectly into a battle between Freddy and Jason. And you've got the whole like fire, water, and electricity thing now.
Right.
I'm thinking he might team up with Jason because they have water fears.
Water fears.
Yeah. Home Alone and Jack. It's a sequel to Home Alone, but it's Jack, and he's home alone. And I have a feeling Jack is not going to be as good at this as Kevin McAllister. Not a great pitch. Okay, I get it. They're not all good zingers. Listen, that's why you come to these pitch meetings with like 12 pitches.
Just in case what goes wrong, you just have 11 backups.
How about this? Home Alone and Freddy vs. Jason. Instead of the Wet Bandits, it's Freddy and Jason.
Oh, dude,
Spoilers.
He's dead.
Nope. Kevin wins.
Okay. Don't know how, but...
Are you serious? Your pitch had him masterminding this whole like Tower of Pain situation with Krampus and the Krampus's elves. Okay. Big and Drive. So Drive plays out exactly like it does, except at the end, we continue following the driver because, he drives off and that's pretty much the end of the movie. Well, after the credits, it comes back and we follow the driver as he drives out to a fortune teller machine out on a, what is that called? Like a dock or something? What is that?
A boardwalk.
Out on a boardwalk. He asks to be put back to normal, and then the driver from Drive reverts to his normal, natural child state and returns home to his family. He was actually a kid in an adult body the whole time, which kind of makes the performance make a lot more sense.
It does.
And my final one, this is just because... The Transporter and the Deadly Bees. It's going to suck. That's it. That's my description. It's going to suck.
It's just going to suck.
It's just the Transporter and the Deadly Bees. Well, why? It's going to suck. You're not answering my question. That's the description.
It's going to suck.
I think those Transporter might not have been my second lowest rated, but those are among, I think, my lowest rated movies. So, yeah.
I really like Lee's and I really liked Jesse's.
Yeah, the submitted pitches were great. This episode's going to be a little short, and I think partially because the last episode we did was our New Year's special, in which we probably talked about a lot of stuff we might have otherwise talked about this episode, because we looked back at 2018, the show in 2018 as a whole. Listener, if you haven't listened to that one, you should check that one out, because we do talk a lot about what we want to do this coming year on the podcast. Jasper, what are your thoughts going into season 3?
I think we should do more, I want to kind of say blockbuster movies or like more known movies maybe. But then again, I also kind of want to do not well-known movies. All
obscure, all samurai, all the time.
All weird movies that no one knows about.
I don't think we're going to stick to this the whole season, but one thing I do want to kind of do is I want to pair much more recent movies up with older movies. So we're not doing like a bunch of pairs of movies from the 80s and the 90s, so that we'll do like something from this year or a year ago or 2 years ago and something from the 70s or something like that, I think that might make the cinematic universes more interesting, more challenging, more unique. And, a variety, different kinds of movies, I think, this season.
I think that'd be good.
Maybe even some Tarantino, finally.
You have 2 people asking for it now.
I know. Okay, so Jesse mentioned Tarantino. It was Jesse, right?
Yeah, Jesse did.
And I was like, dude, Jasper's been asking for Tarantino for like 6 episodes, 7 episodes now. So yeah, we'll do some Tarantino. Listen, I love me some Tarantino, and I don't know why I've been shooting it down, mainly because, it really shouldn't be, but it feels, Tarantino's kind of hard to pair with stuff, which is odd because like his movies are such a mesh of so many different other movies, really. That might make for, maybe we'll do some Tarantino and like a movie that movie is inspired by or something. That would make for super simple, I think, cinematic universes, which isn't fun. But I think from a point of view of like actually watching and talking and discussing and reviewing these movies, I think it'd be fun to have that perspective.
That would be a cool concept.
Ooh, I'm getting one. Ooh, I'm getting ideas. All Tarantino.
Tarantino. It's Tarantino third season.
I do like that name, actually. It's so stupid, but it's funny. The Grawlix Cinematic Universe, Tarantino. Well, it's better than my All Samurai suggestion.
Yeah, I'm into samurais, man.
Yeah, but we can't do all samurai movies because those cinematic universes are already done for us. Because all the most of the samurai movies are based on like legendary characters, like pre-existing legendary characters. So in a way, they're all kind of tied together anyway.
Right. It'd be kind of cool though to do like martial arts movies, those and martial arts samurai, whatnot.
I have a pair that I think, dude, I have a pair of movies that I think is going to satisfy my samurai craving and your Tarantino craving. Although if we ever do Kill Bill, is Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 one movie or 2 movies to you?
I don't know. I've not watched them yet, but...
Wait. What do you mean?
I've never watched Kill Bill.
How?
The look I am getting right now, listener, you should see.
It's more bewilderment than anything. How have you never watched Kill Bill?
I don't know.
This is ridiculous. How have you never watched Kill Bill?
Well, because that came out when my mom was like, "Oh, you can't watch that movie. It's too gruesome."
Last month? You're a man.
Let me say this though. My buddy at work just gave me Kill Bill 1 and 2 on DVD.
On DVD, really? Mm-hmm. I forget people still watch DVDs. DVD's dead, Jasper. DVD's dead.
Well, is it on Netflix? Probably not.
Are they widescreen at least?
Sure.
You don't even know what that means, do you?
I don't know. I'll have to look. I know what widescreen means. It means a wide screen.
If they're not widescreen, don't watch them.
16:9.
Yes, if they're not widescreen, if it's square, if the picture is square, Jasper, don't watch them. I will get you good copies. I have them both on Blu-ray, which is also kind of a dead medium too, but it shouldn't be.
That is kind of a dead medium.
Dude, it's the one after DVD, Mr. DVD haver.
Hey, it's the only 2 DVDs I own now. Well, I think.
I still have a bunch, but they're in boxes. I should have sold them off when you could still get money for DVDs, but I was like, that's my collection.
Right.
I can't believe you have... What Tarantino have you seen?
Django.
Okay.
From Dusk Till Dawn.
That's not really Tarantino, but it is.
Okay, it's not.
Okay, no. Listen, you're not wrong. You are wrong, but you're not wrong. He didn't direct it. So I don't personally count it as a Tarantino because he didn't direct it, but he's all over that thing.
Upcoming Star Trek.
His filthy, creepy Tarantino mitts are all over that thing. You have not seen the upcoming Star Trek. I'm not going to believe that until
you see it.
It happens. Yeah, I don't believe he would do it.
Oh, I can't think of other names.
Okay, so here's what we got. Tarantino movies. Reservoir Dogs.
I've seen parts of that. I remember parts of that. I mean, I've seen it, but I remember parts.
Okay. Pulp Fiction.
Need to see that.
What do you mean?
That's like his biggest one.
What do you mean you need to see it?
I haven't seen it yet.
How the have you not seen Pulp Fiction? Are you kidding me? Jasper, no wonder you're like, we need to watch Tarantino because at least you recognize that you need to watch some motherfucking Tarantino.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, Jackie Brown. Dude, there was not going to be any bleeps until I discovered you've never watched Tarantino. Jackie Brown.
I've never seen that one at all.
That one's
I've
not
seen
that one's
parts of Pulp Fiction.
Oh god, Pulp Fiction. That one's, I can't believe you've never seen Pulp Fiction. Jackie Brown is super surprising to me, but what's after Jackie Brown? Kill Bill, I believe, were the ones after Jackie Brown. Inglourious Bastards.
Seen that. One of my favorites.
It's good. How if you watch Pulp Fiction?
Keep coming back to that.
Okay, Django. Hateful Eight.
Yes, I've seen that.
Okay.
Good one.
That's it. That's his movies. Oh, no, Death Proof, which was part of the Grindhouse double feature.
Not seen that one. Almost did. I wanted to see it when it came out and never got to.
I got a slight hot take. Actually, between the two movies, Death Proof and the Robert Rodriguez movie, which was... What was it?
I believe that was the last movie they were going to show at the drive-in over here in Council Bluffs.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What was the Robert Rodriguez movie called? I can't remember. I actually like that one better than Death Proof. Anyway.
Was that the one where she had the machine gun, like?
Yeah.
No, yeah, it is.
Death Proof is not. Death Proof is the other one with the chicks in the cars. But the Robert Rodriguez one, who did do From Dusk Till Dawn, he did that other one. That's the one with the girl with machine gun leg. Rose McGowan. But, okay, well, dude, to be honest, season 3 might be season Terran 3-0. I didn't realize that season 3 might be Time to School Jasper. And that sounds real condescending, and I don't mean to be. I am in shock that you hadn't seen...
Planet Terror was the other one.
Yeah, Planet Terror, that's what it was. Thank you. I am in utter shock that you have not seen the biggest Tarantino movies. The movies that, launched him. But you don't take it too hard. Mainly it's like a fun thing to be like, you haven't seen this?
Have you ever been reading through a stack of comics and thought, maybe I should see what this Arkham Asylum game is all about? Or been playing Marvel vs. Capcom and felt like you were at a real disadvantage since you didn't know who half the characters were? Well, Play Comics is the show for you. I'm Chris, and each episode we take a look at video games based on comic properties and how well they stick to that source material. So whether you know the comics and want to know how all these games work, or you know the games and want to find out where all this craziness came from, go check out Play Comics at playcomics.com or wherever you find your favorite podcasts.
So listener, you should definitely check out, and I'll include a link in the show notes, a post I made on grawlixpodcast.com. It's GRAWLIX podcast.com. The post is titled Grawlix Cinematic Universe Season 2 Poll. It's more than just the poll. Obviously, after this episode, the poll will not be... You'll be able to look at it, but it won't be, you won't be able to vote on it. But I included stuff like recurring actors, the highest and lowest rated movies that we voted on this season, and some nerd numbers, and some budget stuff. So check that out. Thank you, Jesse. Of course, man, your pitch was awesome. I love the production. Thank you, Lee. Your input is always awesome. Thank you, Jasper.
Thank you, Randy.
Jasper, where can people find you if they so desire?
You can find me on Twitter at Carranzo Media, which is KORANSO Media. And you can find all my thoughts and prayers for season 3 right there.
Thoughts and prayers. You can find me at Randall Silvey on Twitter. It's RANDALSILVEY, or go to randallsilvey.com, and that's got links to pretty much all my other stuff. But really, what you should be focusing on is grawlixpodcast.com or Grawlix Podcast on Twitter. It's GRAWLIX Podcast. We're also on Facebook, and you should hit up our Facebook group because we've actually been posting in that quite a bit. Having a good time? Having a good time. Just go to grawlixpodcast.com/group. That'll forward you there. Also, dude, we've been pumping out gameplay videos like crazy. I'm currently in the middle of Judge Dredd vs. Death gameplay. It's a lot of fun. I'm also in the middle of a Stranger Things The Game gameplay, which I've been streaming live on the Facebook page. Jesse's in the middle of Bendy and the Ink Machine. And I have some other cool stuff coming up soon. And you should check all that out. Oh, and something else, and you're going to hear about it all the way up into June. The Grawlix Podcast, and of course, by proxy, GCU, will all be there. We're going to be at the OCon Expo 2019. It's formerly the O Comic Con in June. I think 28th through 30th or something. I'll have to get exact dates on that. Grawlix Podcast and GCU will have a table there. We will be there. We will have a booth. We'll have an official presence in their podcast pavilion area, which is right by the front doors, I guess. And you can come say hi to all of us. We're all going to be there. Jesse's going to have his own. He always does an artist booth, but he'll pop by. But me, Jasper, Grawlix Podcast, Melanie, we're all going to be there for 3 days in person.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I am too. I've never been to this one. I've always wanted to go. I've never had the time off, but to be there for the podcast I think it's going to be awesome.
I plan on, because I'm me, I plan on recording like podcast bits and pieces through the whole thing. So come be on a podcast with us. That'd be awesome. Okay, so that's it. How do we end this? Oh yeah, we just fade out. We probably faded out already.
Faded out. Talk about our table. Ocon, excuse me.
Don't fade out don't fade out during the important stuff.
Let's just.
Meanwhile, like later in the week, I'm sitting here editing this and I'm just like, dude, I faded out 45 minutes before you ever got to that.
Right. We had to cut it short.
Doing this all in the wrong. This is such a mess. Jasper, this is why we don't record at 2 a.m.
Right.